Good evening and salutations, my soap opera fans. So, question of the night: why do some fans dislike Hope Logan? Now, I've seen the complaints or the comments from she's extremely whiny to things of the nature of she's not Douglas' real mother. Which, to be honest, I mean, let's not get it. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion and everything like that. I'm gonna be honest. It's pretty stupid to just sit there and say, "Oh well, Douglas belongs with Steffi, or Douglas belongs with Thomas because Thomas is his father," and it's just like, what? What's good, Black Mom? What's good, Spider Quake? What's good, Mal? What's good, Makai? Thank you for joining, and thank you, Spider Quake. I appreciate that. Thank you. How you doing tonight? So, the question is, why do you dislike Hope, or why do some fans dislike Hope? Hope Logan. I think there's only one Hope. What's good, Chikars? What's good, Ron? What's good, CW? I have to pace myself with that wine because I'm not gonna lie. Yesterday, Alisa, Alisa, right? She's boring and self-righteous. CW says, please don't say her name. Alisa Jefferson. What's good, Janet? I'm so happy that you're here. What's good, Anna? Thank you for joining. I didn't even notice that, Janet, but thank you for saying that. Still got that whole big ass bottle, too. Um, I should probably go back and watch that episode. I should go back and watch that live stream. What's good, Chikara? Chikara says, I don't watch B&B. I cannot stand Hope because she's a hypocrite. I mean, hopeless. Oof. Thank you, Janet. Thank you. I appreciate that. And how are you doing tonight, Janet? Solomon is in the chat. Spiderquick says, I saw your review, but I liked this episode. Oh, I mean, um, no, it's good. Here's the thing. As long as somebody else found value in the episode, then I'm happy. I'm happy for them. It just didn't work for me. But yeah, let me know why you actually like the episode today. Very curious about that. Spiderquake. Ryan says Hope is spoiled and she is a baby collector. Okay. Blackmon says, did you no, actually I did not. Ooh, yeah. I had to work in the morning, so I really couldn't finish it off anyway. And it says, I remember when I watched B&B and they kept making her out to be something great, and I just never saw it. Mel says, I love Liam and Hope together with Beth and Douglas, and tired of everyone trashing Hope and Liam. Here's the thing. I don't get the overwhelming negativity about Hope. I guess so. Yes. 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 I didn't even check. I didn't even check. But yeah, no. Thank you for noticing that, Solomon. Thank you again, Spiderquake. Yeah, it should be tomorrow. It definitely should be tomorrow. I mean, we had 2 days. Well, we had 3 days of crap. So, hopefully tomorrow pan out, Janet. Hopefully. Alicia's Alicia says she and Steffi both can't help but met on each other's relationships, but at least Steffi learns from her mistakes. While Hope plays like the innocent victim when she just as bad. Hmm. What's good, Laura? What's good, Karen? What's good, Shauna? Thank you for coming through. Come through, Stella. Yeah. Uh, I don't know. For me, today's episode of General Hospital was just so blah. And by blah, I mean like nothing happened. Of course, Mel. Of course, I expect no less. And it says tomorrow is only Thursdays. Thursday, the crowd would hit the fan on Friday. Well, at least something would start on Thursday. And I mean, unfortunately, here's the thing. I shouldn't even say that. Let me back that up. And stuff should have been going down every day. Point blank. Period. We're 3 days in, and only is now going to start to get good. Nikisha said, "What's good, Nikisha? Hope is boring." Shauna says, "Jack and Diane, get ready. Get ready." Oh, you're right, Shauna. What's his name? Oh, Leo Stark. What is his name? Jeremy Starks. Yeah, that dude just literally came back. And I mean, I love it. Alicia says Day was better than GH because at least we got Stabby seeing Slash. Yeah, that was good. That was definitely good, Elisa. Allison. Allison? Yeah, Allison. I'm so sorry, Allison. I'm already called you like three names since you got here. Now Nikki says Hope is also a hypocrite. No, so how to tell you the truth? I'm gonna try to watch it tomorrow. I'm gonna try to watch it tomorrow because I actually have a day off. I was supposed to have to I was supposed to actually have today off. But somebody called out sick and they asked me to cover. I was like, all right, extra money. Um it's just I got out at 4 and it definitely was one of those days where it was like I couldn't even um do a review on days. But luckily I was able to watch it at my job. Ron says Nate makes me sick. How can Elena and Victoria condone this type of behavior? Elena and Victoria. Well, what is okay, Ron, I don't understand. How is Victoria condoning any type of behavior? I don't get it. Laura says I have to agree the show was not good on G's. Hopefully things will finally progress with Trina. Yeah. That's what I was meant to say, Laura. Hopefully tomorrow will be a lot better. Because we damn sure didn't get anything today. Someone says maybe Billy and Phyllis should have an emotional. I remember you saying that last time too. Shauna says Summer got smoke for her mom, but a doormat for Kyle. Okay. Um, I will respectfully agree to disagree. Summer has gotten on my damn nerves. She comes in the house and she's all super whiny and everything, and I'm like, girl, if you don't take your ass on upstairs. And you know what? In all reality, Phyllis is just as bad. And what's good, Becky D? Phyllis is just as bad. Phyllis is the type of woman that you have to agree with her. You can't sit there and be honest with her. You pretty much have to lie to her at this point. That's what it really comes down to. So if you don't lie to her, then she wants nothing to do with you and you're wrong and you're terrible. I mean, she walked out on her daughter because her daughter was being honest with her. As much as I don't like Summer, she was being honest with her. And she sat there and just got all upset. She had a temper tantrum. This woman is in her 50s. But I think you're a little bit too late for that. Karen said GH was so boring that I actually fell asleep. Yeah, it was crap. Karen, it was crap. But listen, if you liked the episode, GH, please tell me why. Ron says because I'm sure she knows that Elena and Nate are in a relationship, but she condones business. Oh, she conducts business pleasure. Well then, yeah, okay, okay, all right, and okay, Ron, I can understand where you're coming from. Simon says Phyllis is like 55. Yeah, exactly, exactly. When I saw her get up and did that little temper tantrum thing, I was like, "What the hell are you doing?" Because I haven't watched GH yet, but what did Anstella say to Trina? Nothing. Nothing. She didn't say anything, Makai. All she said was talk to your mom. That's all she said was talk to your mom. That was it. She literally for 40 minutes she did absolutely nothing. Oh, nice. Okay, thank you, Mel. Thank you for letting me know. Allison says, Allison says, what fan favorite character do you dislike? Oof, Spencer. I don't really care for the whole Spencer and Trina thing, but specifically Spencer, I can't stand. I think the dude is trash. He is an entitled, spoiled prick, and nothing but a toilet seat. Um, Alisa, what fan favorite character do you dislike? And what's good, Medora? Medora says, why would Hope agree to let a child choose where he should leave now? She wants to. Yeah, Medora, for a good 20, 30 minutes, all she did was whine in today's episode. It was so annoying. I will say that. She is annoying. She is so annoying. Now, Nikki said, I complained about the lack of wedding drama, but I have to. Yeah, Nikisha, it took long enough. Thank you, Mel. Thank you for letting me know about that. So February 24th and February 6th, I mean, and March 16th. All right, thank you. China says it doesn't matter. Stand up to him. All them can't stay in that house. Why can't they? And and China, I mean, what is Kyle supposed to do? It's Jack's place. Jack is like, I want Diane to stay. So Kyle is like, hey, my mom is staying. What is she supposed to sit there and do? Say no, you can't. What is she supposed to sit there and do? Yell at Kyle that Diane is staying at the request of Jack? Come on, you got to make that make sense to me. Karen says I can't stand Nina. Yeah, join the club. But I mean, what can you stand about Nina specifically, Karen? CW says the only thing I liked about Chase today was the fuss was sort of lit today in the Porsche Curtis Trina storyline, but not all exciting. Also, Lola, I heard. Yeah, we were talking about that yesterday. Man, what the hell did I say yesterday? Man, I know I had a couple of drinks of this, but Shana says Summer can't move out. Yeah, she can move out. Listen, if I was not there, I had a girl that was not there acting like that, I'm like, yo, pack yourself and kick rocks. Instead, all she sat there and did was pout, had a little frowny face, and practically stomped upstairs like she was a 12-year-old girl. Um, but yeah, no, you're right, Shauna. Summer can definitely move. You know what? She can actually move back to Italy or wherever the hell they're actually from. You know what? Take Kyle too. Take him too. Solomon says, I want to see Sally give her baby to Mariah Tess and be involved in a Kyle Summer Sally love triangle. I would sit there and say, would definitely, you know what, Solomon? I would definitely sit there and say, would spice up the Mariah and Tess stuff. Um, Anna says, I swear, if Trina goes to her mother and Portia's like, Lars Trina freeze, I will drive just to. You know what, Anna? If you do that, definitely record it. Okay, good, Anna. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And I'm going to be honest. I had a couple of these and I was just like, but you know what? Here's the positive side is that I slept like a baby after a couple of these. Elise Allison says I can't stand on Wino, Summer and Kyle and Chelsea and B&B. It's Hope and on days is Summer, Kyle, Chelsea, Hope, Abby because she acts self-righteous. Wow. You know what, Allison, I can see a lot of problems with all of that. So wow, you're on point. What's good, cat lady? Thank you for joining. You have been missed. How have you been? Mel says love, Eric and Nicole. Oh, Mel, I'm bless your heart. Bless your heart, Mel. Bless your heart. That scene gave me a headache. I actually went to go get a Tylenol after I finished watching that episode. That was probably the worst part in that whole episode. Both of them acting like, I don't know, immature, disrespectful. I mean, you can say what you want about EJ, but the dude goes out with her, and the whole time, all she's spent there doing is whining and complaining about Eric. And Eric, I'm like, what are you doing? She doesn't want date night, but you take her on this fancy date, and then you sit there and you whine, you complain about um Nicole the whole time. Like, are you kidding me? What's good, Dolly? Thank you for joining. Shauna says now Jeremy's back. I want to see Gangster Jack will fold like a chair. I guess time will tell. I guess time will tell, Shauna. Allison, I mean, Alisa. I'm not ignoring everyone, I promise. Alyssa, is that it? Alyssa Milano? Because I'm looking at it like Alyssa Milano. So do you? Okay, so do you pronounce your name like Charm, like the girl on Charm, Alyssa? 'Cause I see the Y in there, and it's just confusing me now. Makai says, Albert, I'm having strawberry. Oh, nice. I haven't had ice cream in a hot minute. I haven't had ice. Nice. Okay. All right. Cool. Alyssa Milano. Okay. Nice. Okay. I am so Alyssa. I have. Well, let's just put it this way. At this point, everyone knows I'm bad with names. Everyone knows I am extremely bad with names. So thank you for being patient. Now, Dory says thank you, and yeah, Nicole and Eric continue to act like trash. They do. I'm like, you're on a date with like opposite people, and yet y'all two are still acting like a bunch of teenagers. Like, come on. Eagle Fang Master 86. That's how I say your name. How you doing tonight? Eagle Fang, I'm actually one episode away from finishing uh, The Boys, and I'm loving it so far. I am loving this. I'm not gonna lie, Eagle Fang, I forgot what it's like to watch a good quality, like superhero kind of show. Karen says Nina blames Carly for everything wrong in her life. Now I'm gonna sit there and because I forgot, I haven't been doing my polls in a hot minute. We're going to definitely get back to roasting these damn characters. We definitely want to get into the soap opera questions too. Well, technically, this is kind of a soap opera when you stop and think about it. Are you going to actually, you can speak? Yeah, well, is that true, Eagle Fang, or are they actually going to have somebody else do it? Because here's the thing, Eagle Fang. I heard that they cut out all of Michael Keaton scenes, and I mean like all of them. There's so many rumors that's going around. I'm just like, you know what? Let's just wait until the movie comes out. Alyssa, yeah, Alyssa Milano. Oh, pronounce Alyssa Milano. Alyssa. Okay, thank you. Just want to make sure I got that right. Alyssa. It's a very nice name. Um, Dolly says Li Shen was given that Disney. That's funny, Dolly. Now I think I. Okay. He said I'm behind, but I watch it. Okay. Yeah, I just caught up to the new season. Like literally, like maybe last month I caught up to the new season, so I'm watching it now. Alyssa says I don't think I see the day where Ava and Carly are somewhat friends. She doesn't get involved in her business. Laura says, however, I can sympathize with her as a mother losing her child to cancer. Yeah, that's what I was. I mean, granted, when I do these reviews and stuff like that, I always have to sit there and try to keep my. How do I sit there and say it? I got to try to keep my biases as much out of my reviews as possible. What's good, Nate? Thank you for joining. Nate, I think he was in Nate, let me ask you a question. Was you in James live stream today? Was you in James live stream today? Because I'm gonna ask another question. So let me know, Nate, if he was in there. Thank you, Becky D. Thank you, my rock star. Yes, we got 27 people in the chat. We got 7 likes. If you are liking the chat, I mean, if you are liking the stream, definitely hit the like button. It really does help out. Like nobody's business, it helps out because you never, we get new people in all the time, um, and we've been getting them in frequently. So, just saying. I think I'm gonna keep this up for like 2 minutes because I don't know if we got 11 votes so far. It's been 3 minutes. I'm gonna give it 5 minutes and then I'll ask my next question. Okay, Nate. You was in there, right? All right. Because Nate, I actually heard him say your name, and I was like, wait, Nate was actually in the chat. He was in the live stream. So, because I know he was talking about B&B and how he wasn't going to be doing um no more reviews for B&B. CW, I prefer Stefan. I prefer Stefan. There's something about his character that I just really like. CW. Don't get me wrong, Jake was cool, but you know, I prefer Stefan. What about you, CW? The hell was I actually saying before? Oh, yeah, because James and Smith, they're talking about how he wasn't going to be doing any more reviews on B&B, and then he was like, he's going to make a separate video for it. And then if you want to go to one of his events, then he was going to like spill the tea and stuff like that. So yeah, I was just wondering. Yeah, I'm not sure, Nikisha. I'm sitting there waiting for this video to come out. He said he was going to do a video, so like I'm waiting for that. I mean, Nikisha, have you actually been in his live streams lately? Let me know if you've been in his live streams lately, Nikisha. Dolly says Stefan is a perfect blend of Alame and Tamara. CW says I actually like Jake, but Stefan's okay to is okay to him. Yeah, no, don't get me wrong, CW. I did like Jake. I did. I think it's more of the actor and the way that he portrays these different characters that just work. And he said, "Yeah, I'm always in James' live stream. I was stunned when I heard he wasn't doing B&B anymore." Yeah, yeah, me too. I was just a little surprised, but the thing is, it seemed like it was more drama behind the scenes, and I was like, all right, so you gonna tell us what it is? He was like, oh, I'll do it in my Zoom. I was like, no, 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 no. I want to hear about it now. He was like, I'm gonna do it in a separate video. It's like you don't just put out drama like that and then not actually say what it is. Versus, I don't think it is hopeless with time and therapy and effort. Becky D says, I don't know. I think Stephanie is pretty. scrambled. Alyssa says, I swear, if Trina does snatch her mom wig, piecing to her because she spent her whole life with. Mm. It's definitely going to be interesting. It's definitely going to be interesting. Okay, so okay. And Nikki said not this week, but last week, I'm sure. They said at the same time, though, can't say I blame James. The show is alright these days, but not really. Yeah, I mean, yeah. But that's the thing, though, Nate. From what he was saying, it seemed like it was more behind the scenes than it was the show itself. Like if it was just a show, if he was just like, it's not really that good, then it's like, all right, cool, I can understand that. But it seemed like it was more than just that. Shauna says if Tucker told Devon he's in debt, he will help him. You sure? Well, okay. Well, I mean, let me ask you this question, Shauna. So before he started pulling all this crap that he was pulling, you tell me that if Tucker came to Devon and was like, I'm in debt, he would help out, like before the whole argument kind of got started. Nobody says the way Stefan is acting is kind of a go back to how his mom lost her mind. I won't be surprised if the kid's not EJ at some point. Yeah, he kept seeming to trying to dose him. Kept seeming to trying to dose him like there was no tomorrow. Karen, yeah, see, this is why we get along. This is why I get along with a lot of people in the chat. Um, Karen, did you see last season? What was the episode called where they actually had to put a disclaimer? They actually had to put a disclaimer in this episode, in that episode called Hero Gasm. I think that's what it was called. It was called Hero Gasm. Listen, when they went to that house, I took like a 5 minute break after what I saw. I was like, wow. I mean, I know. What's his name? Seth. Man, damn Seth. I know the creator of that show can be kind of out there, but I'm like, bro. At any point, did y'all not sit there and think that Daryl just doing way too much? Nobody says wait. Okay. Um. Nate says, as for your question about Hope, I think these days it may have to do with the writing. I don't recall Hope getting this kind of hate when Kim. Yeah, she comes across. I mean, for me, at least Nate in this episode, she was extremely whiny, like whiny, like there was no tomorrow. Like Liam Smith, they're trying to talk to her using logic, and she's just whining the entire time. I was like, Jesus Christ. Now Shauna says yes, he will help him. Now Devon has a heart. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. My bad. My bad. Because don't worry, I'm not gonna sit there and spoiling anything more for you. No, I did. Okay. I did all that like I didn't have pants on. But if I didn't have pants on, I'm pretty sure I would probably be showing some stuff. Lauren said just put Eric and Nicole back together because we the viewers know that is the direction they're heading. Hmm. Yeah, well, I'll drag it out. Now Dolly says you should see the. Oh wow. Oh Dolly, they go more in. Jesus Christ, they go more in the comic book than they did in the show. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised, but I can't sit there and spoil anymore because Cat Lady didn't finish watching it, and I'm not gonna be a dick. But Cat Lady, when you finish watching it, we gonna have to sit there and talk about that show. To be fair, I think I'm actually one episode away from finishing it. Mel said it was funny, Johnny, and Wendy said to Stefan. Mel, I'm surprised that Stephanie didn't just get upset about that. Like because he comes across as a hothead a lot of times. Now, Medora says on B&B, I was excited about Bill and Sheila, but Bill being a zombie is not working. Yes, Medora, we call him Zombie Bill. Now, Nikki said I had to stop watching the boys. Too much sexual assault is gross. Hmm. I have to, I said you, I have to think about that, Nikisha. I really do. Because I can't. I should tell you, there's so much stuff that goes on in that show, which is definitely out there. I can't think of that though. But I get it though, Nikisha. Trust me, that show is definitely not for everyone for so many different reasons. Shauna says, let me see this thing now. Tom talks her into letting Douglas choose, but when she thought she was the one, it was okay. That's very true, Shauna. That is something I can 100% get behind. Yeah, Callie, we gotta talk about it. Now, Dolly says the boys comic is way more. I'm gonna see if they have it on Amazon. I'm gonna see if they have it on Amazon because I know there's some twist in there that I don't know if they're gonna do in the actual show. And if they did, don't tell me because I'm literally like one episode behind. Now, someone says maybe Daniel and Victoria should hook up and why not? Yo, okay, so Heather came back in today's episode. She came there waiting in this guy's room. So when he got all hopeful and everything like that, she was like, "Oh, I met someone and we're together now." And I'm just like, "Wait, what? You, but you couldn't have did that through a text? You literally had to sit there and show up in this man's hotel to sit there and say, "Yeah, I'm seeing somebody else now and it's going really great." And what? Yo, I would have kicked her out of my room so fast. It ain't no way in hell. Shauna says Tom, Bill, and Deacon need to hold hands. Ron says, well, according to Phoenix, the actor playing Bill Diadama may may be not happy with the storyline. Probably. I won't be too surprised. I mean, the dude barely says anything. Um, he says nothing throughout the whole time, so I wouldn't be too surprised. I mean, the dude's supposed to be acting, showing off his acting chops. And he says like barely 5 words. Oh, what's good, CW? Oh, yeah, I think I said what's up to you. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. When I saw Jerry show, thank you for joining as always. Now, okay, so only 8% actually watch that show. Interesting. Valerie's in the chat. What's good, Valerie? Thank you for joining. I actually tell you, Valerie was. I may actually have more than one Valerie. How you doing tonight, Valerie? I'm gonna sit there and ask you. Because Spider Quick, when he was here, he was saying that General Hospital was actually good. And so, if you think that General Hospital was good, please tell me why. Maybe here's the thing, and I'm not asking it like it's some sort of smart, like whatever. But I'm just like maybe I missed something. Maybe I missed something that was actually good, I didn't really sit there and think about it at the time. So let me know. First of all, vote. Let me know if it was good or bad. And then, tell me what your thoughts are on why it was good or why it was bad. Spike Quick says, I like the Maggie Ryan and the end with Trina. Okay. I can see that, Spider Quick. Ron says, I'm celebrating that Hope doesn't have Douglas living for a chance. Okay. I respect it. I respect your opinion, Ron. Valley says, Sam and Dante, boring to me. Kelly says, only because we got to see Maggie. Dolly says, I'm glad Stephanie finally stepped up for Douglas for once. It's about time. Shauna says, every time we see Daniel, he's doom and gloom. Mel says, I love Adam getting war on Victoria when he comes. Yeah, it's very true. Mel, you know how the ice princess is. Now, Cat Lady says, Esme's finally meeting her parents. Yeah, and she's freaking out, too. And the case said, I enjoyed today's episode, Trina. Good POV. Ryan. Heather are funny. I like Esme being scared. Okay. I guess maybe there were pockets of stuff that was actually good in the episode. Now, Values was only good because of Heather and Ryan comic relief. Yeah, yeah, exactly. They're like the Harley Quinn and Joker of the show. He said, "I love hearing Sonny and Laura talk about Spencer and Trina." This is what I like to see. In all reality, this is actually what I like to see because, well, if anyone watched my review, clearly I did not like it at all. I mean, there was parts here and there, but just as a whole, disappointed me. So I'm actually glad for a lot of reasons that people actually found value in this episode. I am super happy about that. Shauna says, Esmond memory getting ready to come back. Hopefully soon, Shauna. Because then things about to get really lit. Oh, I forgot that Liz was there too. I mean, granted, all she did was talk about the same things that she was talking about for the last 2 weeks. So, that was fun to watch. Now, Ron says, Albert, now Ron says, Albert, how will Victor feel about his daughter and Nate getting involved with each other? Ron, I probably feel that, Victor may respect Nate on some level, but, he's never going to really sit there and think that anyone is good enough for his daughter. Billy says, how B&B, how B&B been going? Is Sheila Milkshake still middle age? Yeah. I mean, it's true, Becky D. He's not wrong now, Marsha says. About how long have you been watching soaps? Since 1998. Since 1998. The first soap opera I watched was One Like to Live. My favorite characters was Todd and Colin. To this day. Marsha, how long have you been watching soap operas? Mel says, I love Tucker and Ashley. Well, Mel, at this point, he don't really have, as romantic as that sounds, he doesn't have a choice about giving up his company. That company is going under. There is no choice in that. Now, Traverse says, what do you think of Sprina future marriage life? In all reality, I'm not really a huge fan of those two. So, you know, I haven't really thought about them. In all reality, Traverse. How have you been doing though? Now, Nikisha, even when I don't like Jeej, I still love Jeej. It's the longest relationship that I've ever been in. I know these characters my whole life and some of their lives too. No, that's that's cool, Nikisha. That just means that you're a fan of the show. You watch and you're loyal to the show even when it's not at its finest. And I respect it. I respect it. Dolly says, I just need Riz to get sprung on Sheila too, and the world would be. Then Marsha says, I've been watching since 1966, around 12 years ago. I'm 12 years old. Old school, Marsha, old school. Marsha, I remember when I was, well, before I had DVR, I had to sit there and record them on VHS. So, and I would record. Well, the only ones I was actually watching was All My Children. All the ABC ones I was watching. You know what? Here's the thing I did forget about today's episode of Days of Our Lives. Jerome said only woke is crazy about Sabrina. Hmm, I wouldn't precisely say that, but oh, okay, you watched Passions, okay. Your voice, her Passion was a trip. Okay, you had witches and warlocks and stuff. Um, Nikki says Sabrina is so beloved that they make trolls so angry. I love it. Nikisha, you're too much. Marsha says old school we watch for my grandma and my mom. Oh yeah, of course, Marsha, because you know when they start getting to those serious scenes and you doing this, you're doing too much. But you know, Marsha, it's funny though because now you can understand why they were just like, yo, I need you to kind of chill out right now. This is a very important and intense part. I don't know. I'm not gonna lie, George. I don't see it as woke. I mean, we can sit there and put anything as woke and really start to think about it. What actually makes them woke? That's my question, Javors. What actually makes them woke? Anna said Passion was great with a couple of drinks. Yeah. Dolly says Passion was great, was a wonderful train wreck. Yeah, but you know what, Mel? It makes it interesting because it's not like this show does not need a bit of more. AJ's in the house. What's good, AJ?
Alyssa Milano.
Now it's funny too. Because now I can actually call you Alyssa. There's somebody else in the chat that's also named Alyssa as well. I feel like because we have two Alyssas, I may just have to sit there and call you AJ if you're cool with that. But I can call you Alyssa now, since I finally learned how to pronounce that name. Now Nikki said, "Now I finally know what it's like to live rent free in someone else." How are you doing tonight, AJ? Dolly says Gwen used to slap everyone on Passion. Gwen was wild. Good, AJ. Good. 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 You know, AJ, I'm glad you came into the chat a little bit later because let's just say somebody in the chat is not a Sabrina fan. So glad you came in a little bit later though. But how was your day, AJ? Shauna says yeah, because when Adam tamed let him. Marsha says I love Nighttime Souls Dallas, Falcon Crest. And I think a couple more. Oh wow. Old school, Marsha. Old school. Uh you know what, AJ, I'd rather not actually start like a little I'd rather not start an argument between you and this other person, but let's just sit there and say they're not fans of Sabrina. And AJ, you know how Marsha says I'm 68, so yeah, old school. Marsha, trust me, there's nothing wrong with old school. There's nothing wrong with old school. I mean, in a lot of ways, Marsha, some of the writing was better back then. Joy Jensen is in the chat. Joy Jensen said, I wish Portia's father and brother would be around. I knew I forgot to say something too. Really, Ron? I didn't know that. No, AJ. This person said that Sabrina was quote unquote woke. They were woke. I don't get how that's woke, but okay. Yeah, I knew I forgot. Thank you, Joe. Joy. I forgot that their parent, Portia's parents just up and left. Yeah, Dolina, I actually did watch a little bit of Melrose Place. A little bit, Dom. Excuse me. No, actually, I might have missed it. Let me try to go back and find your comment, your voice. Hmm. Oh, yeah, no, it's your voice. For some odd reason, I might have missed it. So I don't know why it's your voice, but I don't see it though. I saw you made a comment towards Nikisha, but I don't know. Oh, what's good, Shakira? Thank you for joining. Yes, Dolly, don't same. But I don't know. I look at it and I'm like, long day. I hate you, Shakira. I hate you. I don't know. I might have missed it your voice, but I don't know. Honestly, tell you the truth, I don't see it. But if you see it, that's great. That's good for you. I don't Here's the thing. I don't have a personal stake in Sabrina one way or the other. Um, like I don't care one way or the other about it. You know. Wow. Okay, Spider Pig. Okay. All right. Krista's in the chat. What's good, Krista? Yeah, tomorrow does look like it's going to be good. So I'm actually very excited for that. Tomorrow does look like it's going to be good. You know, someone says Victor and Jill used to be together actually on the show in real life. I'm assuming you're talking about on the show. Elliot says Trina going to go off. Yeah, it's going to be good. Elliot says Trina going to. Yeah, it's okay. Elliot says after the double storyline wraps up, I'm going to need days to revise. And Peter Blake. Anna says GH owes us a few good days. Yeah, they definitely do. They they definitely do. You have not said truer words, Anna. Now AJ says yes, they will, and we getting closer to see them kiss. Krista said Drew. Nice, okay. Alright, that's what's up. Now Marsha said Vic and Jill first saw them on Gunsmoke. Wow. That's old. I remember well, I remember watching like old episodes of it, but yeah, I remember that show. Now someone says, Albert, would you want to see a double still on YNR? No, no. I feel like that show's a little bit too grounded though for something like that. Mel says Chloe I heard is leaving Date of Our Lives out of out of contract. Oh, okay. I guess it made sense why she just left so fast. Now Nikisha I have a nagging suspicion that that person is an uh hmm. It's funny. I used to I used to be like that, you know, and I had to sit there and kind of chill out for a little bit as far as because you know here's the thing I would sit there and say it's at least there's no name calling. Here's the thing I don't know how I would sit there and say this Nikisha and AJ um just how negative that your voice is being. I mean, granted, I didn't get the whole woke thing, but besides that, you know, like I don't see like I see something that's super negative when you get to a point where you're arguing with people, and I mean like calling them names and stuff like that. Like I've been there. Um, it seems like the conversation is pretty civil for the most part. So, and Marsha said, "I think Trina's went to a kissing her than later." I mean, to be fair, I've said much worse things about Spencer. Things about Spencer, and to be honest, I plan on actually saying a lot more. Thank you, Cat Lady. Thank you. Yeah, we got 35 people in chat. We got 13 likes. So if you are enjoying the stream, hit the like button. It really does help out. Like it really does. Join the stream, hit the like button. It really does help out. Like it really does. Um Marsha says I see the look on your face. I mean, you know, like I said, when I go up, I go up. Alyssa. We already had another Alyssa in the chat, so it definitely just okay, cool. We got 16 so far. Thank you. Thank you, Cat Lady. Krista says Hope was raised by a controlling narcissist, has become a competent people please. Laura says he or she is entitled to their opinion to screen it. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I agree with that. You know, it's in all reality, it's one of those things where it's like you can have a different opinion than somebody else when it comes towards a certain character or couples and stuff like that. That's all fine and good. I think it's one of those things where it's like if you're not cursing somebody else, you know, cursing somebody out or anything like that, then it's fine to agree to disagree. You know, I mean, hell, let's be honest. If everyone agreed on everything, it'd be boring as hell. And to be honest, I wouldn't really have much to talk about. So, Ron says Albert, they argue like Cardi B. AJ says, but he or she doesn't have the right to trouble. Now, Nikisha is a way to talk to people. They are rude. Well, okay, Churros, I'm still wondering how is this about woke tyrants? Like, I mean, granted, I get if you don't like the characters or whatever, that's fine. But where does the whole um woke stuff comes in from? Yeah, Lord, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think it's trolling. Like, if you sit there and say you don't like characters for a specific reason, um, so I get that part. I don't get the woke part, and I think that's the part that I'm just like kind of missing. But like I said, I've said much worse things, and to be fair, I will continue saying much worse things too. So there's that. But yeah, no, Laura, I'm a little. But you know, and maybe Nikisha, maybe I'm just missing something. Maybe something just going over my head. And maybe I had too much of this, or did I? Okay. Javor said trollers have every right to troll whoever they dislike. Okay. I'm not even going to touch that. Jonathan's in the chat. What's good, Jonathan? How you doing tonight, Jonathan? You know, it's funny too because like the Flash is coming on tonight, and for some odd reason, I was like, "Where's Jonathan at?" Marsha says, "What I think about trolls is the story about trolls living on." uh, I don't know. I don't get it. But you know what? I'd be lying if I didn't sit there and say I didn't troll on some level, you know? So in some ways, I'm kind of just as guilty as he or she. Fairy tales, Albert, yeah. Laura says I'm not touching that out. Exactly. I was like, all right, I'm gonna tap out of that one. Um, Johnson says average seems to be the new norm for GH. Exactly. Yeah, it's funny, John. Well, I mean, I've said that multiple times. So I'm glad that we're kind of on the same page about that. Um, Shauna says Curtis did as her was treated. Yeah, and she straight exactly, Shauna, and she straight up lied to his face. Ron says Albert again, Albert. Why can't people tell the difference between? Uh, yeah, and I've heard that Twitter is like a cesspool for stuff like that. Hmm. Got, I actually told you, Jonathan, it looked like it's going to be a lot better tomorrow. I will say that much. Marsha says, when I came on any channel, I show respect. You all need to get back to respecting each other. It's very true, AJ. It's very true. And no, I agree with that, Marsha. I do. I do. You know, I guess my whole thing was like, as long as it wasn't to a point where it's like, it was straight up like cursing somebody out or calling somebody names and stuff like that, then it was just like, you know, whatever. AJ, I didn't see that. Um, I didn't understand the whole woke thing. You know, I think if they would actually explain themselves as to like why, you know, why is this woke or why they woke for it, then I would either understood or I wouldn't have. But now I will say this though. AJ said you clearly don't fully understand the situation, but it's okay. Yeah, no, that's what I said. I didn't understand it. But I will say this though. And granted, James said this in his live, or JLJ Media said this, that they went to, well, Travois went to his chat and was talking in a way where it seemed like it was just about to cross the line, but didn't cross the line. So I don't know. I don't know. Laura says, whatever happened to Portia, whatever happens, Portia, exactly. I really don't feel bad for her, Laura. I don't. Portia says, many folks now are saying, well, this and this. And yeah. Yeah, I didn't get it. I mean, yeah, Nikki. Well, that's the thing, and that's the, well, you're right, Nikisha. But here's the thing: I didn't want to jump to that conclusion. You know, I'm not going to sit there and assume something um, if that's not what that person said. You know, like if they actually said it, then I'll be like, all right, you know, whatever. But Nikisha, that's what I was saying. That's what I was saying when James had him or her in the chat. It was the same thing. It was like it was just at that point, but not going over. You know. Ron says yes, we can agree to disagree on things, but the curse went out on TV. Yeah, it's yeah. Now Johnson says no. Johnson says the way Michael wants to take down Sonny, supposedly because it's very true. Very true. Truer words have not been spoken, Jonathan. I never thought of that. That is a very good point. That is a very good point, Jonathan. Very good point. Now Shana says Laura looks Nicole, I saw her looking at it. Yeah. It's definitely gonna get crazy. Now Jay says clearly some fans don't want Sprina to be especially be with a black girl. Chloe says I was being silent, but that wolf was definitely a dog whistler about interracial pairing. Hmm. You know what it was? Yeah, I mean, maybe that's what it was. I guess for me, it's just like if they didn't actually say it, then I couldn't be like, "Hey, this isn't cool" or whatever, you know. But hmm. Joyce says Curtis left. Yeah, is that you know what? You're right. You're right. Joy, you're right. You're right. And I'm not gonna lie. If that happens, I'll be. You know what? Honestly, tell you the truth, for Curtis, I would expect some dumbness like that. Now, AJ says same goals for fans not wanting Trina being with a white guy. Yeah, I've seen that before. I've seen that before. I mean, it's incredibly stupid, but I've seen that before. And Johnson says Michael respected Jason. Exactly. Honestly, tell you the truth, the more you put that in there, the more it's just like it just shows even a bigger hole. And Michael's logic. Ron says, can't wait for Bo and Hope to return to my favorite soap. Yeah, Ron Mel says it's supposed to be the 24th. Mel says EJ and Stefan is not going to be happy when Megan comes back. Oh, it's going to be great. No, Solomon, I've never watched Passions before. Bougie. Okay. Yeah, call her bougie. I don't understand why she's bougie for. I mean, it's not racist. It's just that they're saying like, well, I know what bougie is. Yeah, it's more disgusting. You know what your voice? I mean, what is up with the negativity though? You know? Okay, you're just gonna have to. Here is. I already did AJ. Yeah, it was just unnecessary. Like that's what I was gonna sit there and ask like, what is with the negativity? But I'm just like, you know what? I'm not even gonna. Ugh. No, but AJ, I already did a little bit of a timeout because I'm just like, yo, what is your problem? I mean, to be fair, I knew it was gonna be kind of a problem when him or they or whoever was like, trolls are gonna be well, what was it? Trolls have a right to be trolls, and I was just like, yeah, this is. I was like, yeah, this is gonna be a problem. And granted, to be fair, a couple of days ago, I was kind of being a troll myself, but not a troll in the sense of just being like whatever that was. What's good, Tracy Steves? Thank you for joining. Nikki says they do it on every live all the time. Wait. What do you mean by that, Nikki? Like they've been doing that on my live or just other people's lives? Because you have to explain that one to me. I don't see why not, Dolly. Yeah, she seems like the type of person that would want to take over, um, a situation like that. So yeah, I definitely do see her. Well, EJ is definitely not going to be happy about that. And Laura says I was okay with the disagreement, but that was a bit too far. Yeah, well, I did try. I did. I really did try. Exactly. Well, AJ, that was going beyond a point of just being a troll. It was just being negative to be negative. Like what's that? Oh, okay. Well, I felt like giving that person a, you know what? I felt like giving that person a timeout, but I didn't know they were going to be that bad. You know? Oh wow. Okay, that's. Oof. Oh, wow. Ramosh said he was on Mulo and they blocked him big time. Damn, that's crazy. Again, to be fair, when he said that, well, I'm assuming it's a he. When he said that trolls have a right to be trolls, I was just like, it's like right then and there was like, because me, I'll sit there and try to give people a chance and stuff like that, and be like, all right, you know what? Listen, it's not name calling, it's not going over the top. It's just you dislike a character, or you dislike characters because you dislike characters. Okay, fine. Now Nikki said the only to the blood. Oh wow, wow. Okay. Yeah. All right. That's very true, Jonathan. That is very true. I did try though. Okay, like I really did try. Up until that point, that it was kind of alarming. I did try because I was just like, I, listen, maybe you don't like the characters or whatever, and it's fine. I'm not a huge Spencer fan. I don't really care one way or the other about Sabrina. You know, and you know me, I'll sit there and roast any character. But there's a fine line between roasting characters and whatever that was. Anna is in the chat. What's good, Anna? Got another Anna. Thank you for joining live. Thank you, Nikisha. I was, I was, I was trying. I really was. Marsha said, "Aubrey, you're too nice. These other channels do lights and politics, and he has been on them." Well, CW, I put him in timeout, but I didn't know that person was that bad. Because maybe I can't. No, it just says I'm not a Josh or Jax fan, but I won't. Yeah, it's unnecessary. We don't open the internet. One second. Okay, my bad. I want to sit there and write it down. Um. Oh yeah, no, 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 definitely, Dolly, definitely. But I was trying to sit there and be like somewhat nice about it because up until a point, it was just I didn't like this character because of X, Y, and Z. And at that point, I was like, all right, whatever. But the minute that they was like, "Oh, I'm gonna troll to be a troll," I was just like, "Yeah." Oh, Solomon just being extremely negative, like just over the top negative, just to be negative. Daisy Flower was good. Daisy Flower, thank you for joining. Hi Reese is in the chat. Was good. Valerie says you had no choice, Albert. They were, yeah. It was unnecessary. It was unnecessary. It was a little kind of creepy. It was like, oh, you can't get rid of me. I'm like, all right, bro, relax. Ron says I don't like the whole character, but I like the actress that played. Yeah, I mean, I've came into the game kind of late when it comes towards Hope, so I'm just like, I know a lot of people don't like her, and so that pretty much was the question of the night. And it says it's much better for the okay. Yeah, I don't know who that is, and I have no idea who that is. I didn't like him. Uh, yeah, I'm gonna have to look up some of these people. Now, Deja Claus says to answer your question, I like Hope because she is the one. She is one of the only characters that doesn't use her body to get what she wants. Joey says, oh, "Okay, yeah, no, I'm gonna have to look up some of this stuff though. No, I think I should actually have water instead. I think I should have water instead. I don't want to sit there and wake up with a hangover." Anna says, "Just don't like her because she is Liam's mistress." Now, I don't. Well, remember a while. I don't know if anyone remembers. A while back, we was having one of these live streams, and somebody came in a live stream and was just being racist like there was no tomorrow. And I blocked this person, and then you just kept coming back over and over and over again. I don't know if anyone remembers that. I know Nikisha was in the chat at some point. Nikisha was in the chat. I think Cat Lady was in the chat. Jessica was good. Um, but for some odd reason, I could not get rid of this person. Like they just kept coming back, and it was so annoying. Oh, Jessica, what? Jessica said, "What did I miss?" Oof. I don't even know where to begin. You know what? You're actually. Oh, okay. So Nikisha, so you remember that? Almost the troll came back as another troll. Oh wow. It seemed like it just wasn't working though. Like I literally blocked that person and he just kept coming back and it was just the weirdest thing. Okay, so yeah. Shakira remembers, Nikisha remembers, okay. Yeah, that's true, Ron, that's true. I mean it takes a I'm not gonna look here's the thing though, Ron. If you gotta go through that much work to sit there and constantly go out, change your name, come back in, go out, change your name and come back in, that's a lot of work. Just sit there and come to somebody else's live stream to do that. You know, like even if you were to do that, that's just a lot. It's like, damn. Marsha said, "What did you do?" Nothing really. I mean, the only thing I really could do was just block them. I mean, granted, I had to wind up going through other steps, or maybe this person. I think between the other steps that I did, and probably the fact that this person was just like, all right, whatever, um, and just moved on. You know, Marsha, here's the thing that bothers me about that. Because it's one thing if you're just coming in and you're just saying stuff that I don't like. All right, fine, whatever. What bothers me about that is everyone's having a good time. You know, it's a good vibe and stuff like that. We're chilling, we're having fun. And then that one person just comes back. You know, just to do something to mess up the vibe. That's what annoys me. You know, Marsha says some reports the trolls to YouTube. Yeah, yeah. I'm not gonna lie. This person was definitely. What can you do? Some people just take things too far. Well, no, well, thank you, Marsha. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here because I have a lot of fun doing this. You know, and again, that I think that was probably the thing that bothered me the most was the fact that yeah, that it just messes up the vibe. Johnson says, "I can't wait to see what Megan has planned for the Demare Empire. It should be crazy. It should be good." AJ said they go on Twitter too. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Thank you, Nikisha. Thank you. You know, at the end of the day, I always feel like whenever I'm doing these live streams and stuff like that, and I guess what makes it so easy for me to do them is that I feel like I'm talking to friends. You know, so it doesn't really put a lot of pressure on me. Yeah, Jessica, whenever, because it literally just it started off where it just seemed like it was a simple debate. You know, maybe Marshall. You know, in the beginning, it just seemed like okay, they didn't like Springer, they didn't like Trina and Spencer. I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. And they were saying all sorts of things that they didn't like and what they were going to be doing and stuff like that. I was like, all right, fine, because it just seems like it was a debate. And I was like, all right, cool. But then when that person was like, trolls have every right to troll, and I'm going to continue trolling. That's when I was like, because like at that point I was like, all right, see, now I have to do something, because there's a fine line if you just don't like characters because you don't like them. All right, whatever, fine. But then it just got to a point where it's just like, all right, now this is a little bit too much. Well, Anna, thank you for joining. Because we always sit there and talk and stuff like that in the comments and Facebook and stuff like that. So it's really nice seeing you. Yeah, Valerie, I'm not gonna lie. At that point, I was like, all right, you gotta. I was like, all right, you gotta go to somebody else's. Well, I don't want to sit there and say go to somebody else's channel, but like, go take that negative energy somewhere else. Nikki said, I appreciate those of you in the chat that spoke up too. Alicia, I appreciate you. Yes, Anna, definitely, definitely, definitely. It is really good to see you. Anna's another person. Um, is it Annie or Anna? I feel like I'm saying Anna and it's Annie. Annie's also been with me for a hot minute though, so thank you. Thank you for sticking with your channel. I'm gonna call you Annie because I already have somebody else that I call Anna, so I'm gonna call you Annie. But yeah, no, thank you for sticking with your channel. Hippie is in the chat. Hippie says, "I hope it doesn't take a year for Trina to find out about." Yeah, me too. Like seriously, me too. But you know with GH and all the different, so many different characters. But Hippie, it seems like it's gonna go down tomorrow. Have a good night, Dee Dee. Thank you for joining. Yeah, no, it should be interesting now that Bo's not really Bo, he's Stefano or whatever. Thank you, CW. Thank you so much. CW, one of my rock stars. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. What a week. That AJ says Brock's channel. What about Brock's channel, AJ? Or was you talking to somebody else? Or AJ, was that person on Brock's channel? Was that it? Justin says, I think both EJ and Stephen may both lose. AJ, I mean, I'm sorry, Jonathan, wouldn't it be crazy if both of them had actually had a team up to, stop Megan? Like they both had to sit there and put their personal stuff aside to like, because Johnson, my dude Stephen once sit there and kept dosing himself up like there was no tomorrow. Hippie said Bo is Stefano. Yeah. Um, this happened uh, Beyond Salem, where it's like now they took Stefano's like essence and put it inside Bo's body. It's it's days of our lives. So between bringing people back and um possession and stuff like that. Yeah, Annie. Yeah. Um, Brock TV. That's what I was going to say. What about Brock TV? Joy says, "Do you know if Megan has any claim to it?" That's a very good question, Joy. Because I look at that and I like the last name Jensen. Um, because like, can she still make a play for that company even if she doesn't have any stock, or she can't even though her last name is Demera? Kenya's in the chat. What's good, Kenya? Now AJ says when it comes to controls. Oh, okay. All right, I got you. Well, AJ, he had trolls on his channel as well. Thank you, Becky D. Thank you, my rock star. Thank you. I appreciate that so much. Thank you. But yeah, well, I wouldn't be too surprised. I mean, Brock's been doing this for like 10 years, so I don't want to sit there and say like it's a positive thing as far as having trolls. Like if you don't have trolls, you're not doing something right. As far as like if people ain't hating on you, then you ain't doing something right because clearly it can be kind of annoying. Um, but thank you again, Becky D. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. And thank you for being a member. And thank you everyone for being members. Like I appreciate that. Um, yeah, he's been doing it for like 10 years. So I'm not really too surprised on some level. Now Ron says, Albert, no way that the writers are going to do who is the baby store daddy storyline, Sheila, Bill, and Deacon. Sheila, Ron, did you hear something about Sheila being pregnant? Johnson says Megan probably has the stocks. She was one of those. Oh, okay, then that would make sense. And Kenya says, I know. Oh, those were extremely negative, and I think was a replacement name for one of the trolls I know. That's great. Wow. Yeah, Kenya, Kenya, I don't know how long you were in the chat, but we had that going on for a while. Somebody is leaving. Have a good night, AJ. Thank you for joining as always. It was a pleasure. Thank you. Hippie says I don't really like that they made Ava kill Nicholas. This isn't making sense. Hope he wakes up in the closet. Yeah, I don't think the plan was ever to make him like dead. Oh, okay, AJ. Okay, Okay, I probably misread that. My bad. You know what it is, AJ? Because I think she said good night, everyone, as opposed to say, yeah, nah, I got it. But yeah, Kenya, I don't even want to talk about it anymore. Um, well, that Pacific side. I feel like if I just keep saying it, that person's just gonna appear. Marsha says that's funny, Carice. Sheila used to be a nurse. Yeah. I guess I'm not surprised about Brock actually having any trolls. He's been doing it for about 10 years, and whenever you do this stuff that's opinionated, you're gonna run into that. Feel like a damn horror movie now for a little bit. But you know what, Kenya? I'm used to it when you say that. Seriously, Valerie, I felt like it was a horror movie when they came back and it was like, you can't get rid of me. And I was just like, the hell? Laura says, I don't like the death of Nicholas either. I was hoping he was going to go on a reception at Park. Laura, somebody was snippet saying that they originally planned for Nicholas to be gone for 3 months. There's so many different um theories and stuff like that. It's very hard to sit there and separate fact from fiction. Valerie, I don't think that he's dead either. I really don't. That hippie says, am I the only one that wanted Trina to pick up the boutique? It says, I remember Phoenix had blocked someone. What? Ron, I'm not even too surprised. I'm really not. Nikki said Tyler Christopher will be back as Nicholas. I'm praying for it. Exactly, Nikisha. If you keep putting it out there into existence, hopefully it will come. Becky D says, Albert, they're bound to be one. Now Becky D says, Albert, they're bound to be one once in a while. You got a really good group on. Thank you, Becky D. Thank you. Thank you. I try. Like I said, I want it to be a place where we just have fun. We have debates and stuff like that, but it doesn't get to a point where it's just like out of hand, you know. And again, it's so funny. It's so funny because James is saying the same thing. James is saying the same thing, and he literally sat there and like took like 5 minutes to sit there and talk about it. And at the time, I was like, well, that person hasn't really said anything that like went too out of bounds or out of line or anything like that. And then I realized something. Whenever that person was in the chat, they never really addressed me. They was always addressing somebody else. And so now I never actually bothered to read it. Very interesting. Anna said, could you do a review on Born the Beautiful? You know, mm, I want to. But I'm not going to lie. I mean, Annie, today's episode wasn't even really that good. It actually annoyed me more than anything else. I want to get back to doing those at some point. Because in all reality, Anna, sometimes my B&B reviews are more, um, uh, get more numbers than my day's reviews. So at some point, I definitely do want to go back to doing that, though, Annie. Oh, Joy, I think, yeah. But I definitely wanted to get back to him, though, at some point, Anna. Annie. John says, I can't wait to see Michael Revenge. Yeah, it's definitely going to be something else. Ron says Roy is out of order. Phoenix, I blocked him completely. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't blame him, Ron. I don't blame him. Daisy Flower. Well, I'm not huge up on violence like that, but at the same time, Dex. Let's put it this way: Spencer definitely would deserve that ass whooping from Dex. Point blank. Period. I Daisy Flower. I would have to 100% agree with that. Marsha says it landed at her feet. She would pick it up. Oh, Jonathan, I had to block him. Like Jonathan, at first it started off. It for me, it seemed like it started off on a simple debate. Um, they didn't like Sprina. I was like, okay, fine, whatever. And even Laura at one point was like, you know, they're not taking it too far. But then they kept talking about woke, woke this, woke that, woke, woke. And I didn't get it, so that's why I sat there and I asked them. I was like, well, "What do you mean by that?" Then he started really just flying off the handle and calling Trina names and stuff like that. And at that point, I was like, "All right, you gotta." I was like, "You gotta go." So at first, I put him at a timeout because I was like, "All right, maybe whatever." But mm, I don't know. Just took things a little bit too far, Jonathan. And what it really came down to, yeah, John, and it just for me personally, it just got annoying because it's like it brung down the vibe. Everyone's having a good time, and it was like it was unnecessary. You know, so but I think I'm gonna end the stream right here. Because I'm at like 17% on my battery on my laptop. So I think I'm gonna end the stream right here. But I do want to thank everyone for joining. This was a lot of fun. Thank you for sticking around. Um, Thank you, Marsha. Thank you so much. I know we kind of had a bit of a hiccup. I will sit there and say, yeah, unfortunately, Annie, unfortunately, it sucks. But I appreciate everyone for sticking with me. So thank you, Annie, for joining. Have a good night, Shauna. Have a good night, Valerie. Have a good night, Marsha. CW, have a great night. Thank you, Valerie. Thank you. Have a good night, Cat Lady. Annie, have a good night. Daisy Flower, have a good night. Thank you, Nikisha. Likewise. I always appreciate having you in the comments because, well, you're just hilarious also. Have a good night, Hippie. Have a good night, Krista Hawkins. I think that's how you pronounce the name. Crystal. You mean like the champagne crystal? Have a good night, Jessica. Have a good night. Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you. Yes, leave the like button. It really does help. Thank you, Laura. It was really great having you in the chat tonight. All right. Well, you have a good night, Ron. Thank you for joining as always. Thank you, Hip. Yes, hit the like button if you did enjoy the stream. It really does help out. Thank you, Becky D. Thank you. My rock star and CW, my rock star, all my members. I love you so much. I really appreciate y'all. And I really appreciate everyone, that's not members as well. So thank you for being here. Have a good night, AJ. Shakira, have a good night. Valerie, have a good night. Yeah, it was kind of annoying, Annie. Have a good night, Jonathan. Have a good night, Tracy Steves. Thank you. Thank you, Becky D. Yeah, hit the like button on the way out. Have a good night, Shakira. And I'll be here forever if I caption it this saying good night to everyone. But know who you are. Have a good night. And just thank you for, being here and making the stream so fun.